restaurant order system. A restaurant order system is a digital solution designed to streamline and manage the process of taking, processing, and fulfilling customer orders in a food service establishment. So here, the 88 line code you see display on my screen is a restaurant order system. So its main function is to one is to display the menu. Its main function is to one display the menu. So this is the menu displayed over here, numbered 1 to 16. Two, it's to allow user inputs for item selection and quantity. So here our item selection over here is to enter choice numbered 1 to 16. So we select 7, option 7. Our choice here is 7. Then we press enter. It's asking us to enter the quantity. The quantity over here we are asked to input is the number of items we want to order. So we've selected 7. 7 is kebab. So how many kebab do we want? Which is 5. Enter. Here we have an amount that's saying it has calculated the total amount of the orders made. Here the order made was kebab 20. How many? 5. So 5 times 20 is giving us 100. Also, it has provided an option to order more. Here we have add another order. So here if we still want to order more, we have yes or no. So when we press yes, it has provided an option here. So here we can order more. So we come back again to enter our choice, numbered 1 to 16 again. So we choose 1. Enter our quantity, 3. So it has calculated the quantity over here. It has calculated the total order we made here, which is what 135 cedis times 3 is giving us 105. But our total amount here is what 205, which means our first order we made was what 100 and our first order we made was 100 cedis. So here the code has actually added the 100 cedis to what the 105 cedis over here. So we have our total amount to be 205 cedis. So if we still want to order more, we still press yes. If not, no. And so thank you. It has a message saying thank you and come again. So here we go through our codes. Here the line 1 says hash include stdio.h library. This stdio stands for standard input and output library. This library allows input and output operation to occur. So without this stdio, without us including this stdio, which means we can't print anything and neither can we accept anything from the user. Line 4, which is the type, this line 3 is actually a comment. Line 4, typed F structure. Typed F structure over here. Typed F structure. It has actually simplified the declaration and the usage of the structure menu item. On line 5, we have character name 50. So character name 50 is actually an array. What do we say an array is? An array is a collection of elements which are what values and variables of the same data type. Here the data type is character. We have character name 50. So the name 50 here, which is the array, is to store the name of the dish. Is to store the name of the dish up towards 50 characters. On line 6, we have float price. Float price over here is a float value to store what? The price of the dish. So when we come to line 10, which is the void display menu, the void display menu is a function to display what the menu items. But when we come on the same line, we have menu items this way. This menu items you see here is actually an array to store what menu items. The menu items you see with this brackets over there is an array to store what menu items, as well as the int size is the number of items in the menu. We come down to line 12. Print is saying what? Printf restaurant order system. So the printf restaurant order system is actually going to print the header restaurant order system for the menu. So here when you run the code over here, we actually see restaurant order system. So this is the order. So we ask the computer to print what the restaurant order system over here. No? It's actually what the header to the menu.
Hello, this is Kweku, and I'll be continuing from where Thompson left off. We have the for loop. Inside the for loop, we assign an integer I to be equal to 0, and how I is less than the size being the integer for the whole array, we should assign a value of 1 to it. Now, inside the for loop, we have the printf statement, and we have %d dot %s dot %2f. This percentage sign is the formatting for a specific data type. %g for the integer. We have the integer I plus 1. This I plus 1 is used to index the whole menu. This printf statement itself prints out the whole menu. And this %d corresponding to the I plus 1 prints out numbers for the menu items. So let's say it prints out 1 for the menu item waakye, and it will also print out the menu price, which is the 35. Now the reason why it is I plus 1 is because in C, arrays are zero index, which means that they start out from 0. So if we were to leave it as I, it would print out starting from 0. Now we want it to print starting from 1. That's why we have the I plus 1. And the %s and %.2f corresponding to the menu items and the menu prices. %s for the menu items and %.2f for the menu price. The .2f here formats it so that only 2 decimal places will be outputted onto the console. Now continuing, we have the int main function. In this function is where the code will be executed. We have these variables here which are being declared. This will be used in later explanations which will be utilized by my colleague to see the specific use of these variables which are being declared here. Now we have an array. This array stores the menu item and the menu prices. The way this array is structured is so that when it is printed out onto the console, we have the menu items and the menu price. Instead of using the printf statement to type this out manually, we use the array. So in case we want to add a new menu item, you can just come back to the array here and make changes to that. Instead of with the printf statement, let's say we've tagged out hundreds of lines of code and we now have to make changes manually one by one. But using the array statement, it will make our code more cleaner and more simpler to utilize.
My name is Wilson J. Derrick, and I'm a member of Group 1. Now, I want to continue from where my colleague Yeboah left off. And in this part of the code, we are defining an array to store menu items and their prices. So this extract represents an array of menu item structures, where each item contains a name and a price. And I'm sure my colleague Yeboah made mention of waakye, which is at 35 Ghana cedis, banku and tilapia, which is at 50 Ghana cedis, assorted jollof rice at 45 Ghana cedis. Now I'm continuing from fried rice and chicken, which is at 45 Ghana cedis, to yam and chips which is at 40 Ghana cedis, noodles, which is at 38 Ghana cedis, kebab, which is at 20 Ghana cedis, chicken wings, which is at 25 Ghana cedis, spring rolls, which is at 10 Ghana cedis, salad, which is at 27 Ghana cedis, coke, which is at 10 Ghana cedis, bottled water, which is at 10 Ghana cedis, lemonade, which is at 20 Ghana cedis, iced tea, which is at 21 Ghana cedis, orange juice, which is at 17 Ghana cedis. Then the last on the list is coffee, which is at 19 Ghana cedis. Now this code defines the available menu items and their prices. So someone may ask, how does this array help in this program or in this code? Now this array stores all the menu items for the restaurant. It serves as the data source for the display menu function, which prints the menu to the console. Now, for example, when a new person or a new user enters the restaurant and the restaurant doesn't have a menu system, the user won't be able to know what is available in the restaurant. So this array is very important to show the user what is available in the restaurant. Now we come to a point of the choice handling. Now when the user selects an option, the program retrieves the corresponding name and price. For example, if the user selects fried rice and chicken, choice 4, the program uses the menu items choice 1 to get a price at 45 Ghana cedis and calculates the amount. So the user can choose to go in for chicken wings, for spring rolls, for any of the items which are available in the menu system, in the menu items. So to conclude, I'll say this array makes it easy to add, remove, or modify menu items. You can add a new entry and it automatically integrates with the menu display and calculation system. Thank you.
Okay, I am David. I'm continuing from where he stopped. So I'm making some calculations here. Here we start from line 45. In size, that's the size variable. Size is a variable here. The int is showing that it is an integer value equal to size of. This size of ensures that it converts this menu items, which is in an array format. It converts the array menu items into bytes over size of menu items of this 0 here. That's the first element of an array, or the starting index of an array is 0. So that's the size of menu item 0. That's the first element, or one item. So this division here, the size of the total number of items we have over the size of the menu items we have starting from an index of 0, that's 1 for the first element, is converted into bytes. So this one is converted into bytes. The size of here ensures that this part is converted into bytes and divided by the size of this one too is also converted into bytes, and it's divided, and it will give us the total number of size items we have here. So this will be for size. It's to be stored in the variable size here. So this one ensures that when you remove or add more items, it will automatically calculate for it and put the total number of items we have and store it in the format specifier, either here percentage %d. Before we go there, we can just confirm that. Say if I remove this coffee item here and we run our code here, because I removed the coffee, we'll have 15 items now. So the code will run and really prove that it left with 15 items, so that we can confirm that. So you see that here, they said enter choice, and the range is from what? 1 to 15 inclusively. So these numbers are our items we have. So the total number or the size here is now what? 15. So say let me add the coffee bag. If I add coffee bag, so our items, and run the code again, you see that our item, since it was 15, because I've added one item, it will now be 16 automatically. So I don't need to change any part again. I only come and remove that item or add the item I want to remove or add, and the code will automatically add or remove it based on this line here, this in size and this calculation, or this formula here. That one will make. So here we have our choice now is from 1 to 16. You see that the first, because there wasn't coffee, it was 1 to 15, and now it's 16. So this ensures that our code is really running and this calculation is accurate. So now we start a do while loop to repeatedly prompt the user for more orders, and the user can order as many as he or she can afford until he or she is okay. So, but because the do or while loop, it will run first before the user can enter, and it will now check the conditions, and it will decide to either continue or stop. Yes. So here we display the menu in a function display menu. So this function display menu here ensures that it takes data from the menu items array here and the variable size here. So these two are what arguments that pass data into the function display menu here so that it can operate well. Yes. So now we have to prompt our user to enter or ask the user to enter their choice here. So the choice will be entered and this will be displayed to the screen to ask the user for the choice. Because of this printf ensures that the information here is displayed. So it will be displayed as I want. You saw that it was enter choice 1, 2, the size. So this format specifier percentage d here ensures that this determining the length, this line is also called the determining length of the fixed array size here. This determining length of a fixed array size here ensures that this percentage d displays the total number of size we have. So here 1 minus percentage d, that's the format specifier, takes the total number of the size of items we have and displays 1 to that number here, which is the size. Yes. So after the user entered the choice, we now check if the user really enters a valid input. So we put this scanf here, percentage d, that's the format specifier, which is stored under our choice, inside choice here. So we now put this condition, not equal to 1. If the user choice is not equal to 1, that's the input is stored, the integer input is stored in choice. Now we now check if the user input is not equal to 1, or this is a logical or operator here. So this operator here ensures that if any of these three conditions is not equal to 1, or choice less than 1, or if the choice is greater than size, if any of these three conditions is met, the user will get this information. Printf here displays this information. Invalid input. Please enter a number between 1 and the size. That's the total number of items we have. Size. So if any of these three conditions is met, you see this information. So now we have a discard input format specifier here. This percentage s. This one discards all invalid inputs and ensure that the scanf here doesn't continue to run infinite loop here, because the loop will continue to run if we do not discard the invalid inputs here. Say if we require a number and you enter a letter or a symbol, the loop would have continued, they will be running until you manually stop it. Yes, so by this discard or percentage s here ensures that it discards all invalid inputs. Okay, thank you. We close our loop here. Thank you very much. I continue.
Hi, my name is Seto and I'll be taking you from line 61 to 76. So before I begin, the lines with the green or the lines in green, that is this kind of lines are known as comments, and this type of comment is known as under the single line comment. So what the comment does is it explains what the programmer is doing or explains the code. So this line says prompt the user to enter the quantity. Line 62, this line prints a message prompting the user to enter the quantity or the number of units he or she wants to order. The \n ensures that the message is printed on a new line. The empty lines are just there for organization, to make sure the code looks organized and for better understanding. This comment says check if the user makes a valid input. So it explains line 65 to 68. The while loop the while loop the while loop is used to check if the input is valid. The scanf talks about the quantity. So the condition from scanf to what I've highlighted up to, that is less than or equal to 0. It's used to make sure that the input made is a positive integer to make sure it's valid. The logical or operator is make sure that the condition, either condition that is the not equal to 1 or quantity is less than is equal to 0 is valid. If it's not valid, the printf, this line prints a message displaying invalid input. Please enter a positive integer. The scanf, the percentage asterisk s, is used to clear invalid input to prevent infinite loops. Always we end this part of the code with a closed curly bracket because it began with an open curly bracket. So it has to have a closed curly bracket. Line 70 is a comment which talks about what's going to happen in line 71. That is, calculate the amount of the chosen item. Amount is equal to menu items. This is an array. So before I get to this, in the list, the menu item list is listed from 1 to 16, but in array, it starts from 0. So what the array does is that it subtracts 1 it subtracts 1 from the menu items. Then the price of the menu items from the array is multiplied by the quantity to give the amount. Line 73 display is a comment which talks about what's going to happen from line 74 to 76, and it displays the amount and updates the total amount. Line 74, this line prints a message on the screen, adding the total amount, displaying the amount of the items you are ordering. Percentage dot 12, make sure that the amount is in 2 decimal places because we are dealing with currency. This line updates total amount plus is equal to amount, updates the price as you keep on ordering, so that the user can keep track on his spending or her spending. And 76 brings the total amount after the user is done ordering. Thank you.
My name is Junior Samoa, and I'm gonna continue from where Seto ended. Okay, so we are to display the amount and update the total amount. So with this, we will need a printf to do this, and the printf is gonna display or print the amount in 2 decimal places because of the percent of 2f. And then having done with the amount, we then proceed to update the total amount. And the total amount, and with the total amount, it is just about adding the current one to the previous ones, or the previous ones to the current ones. And it is also going to be in percent or 2f because we are actually dealing with float. So having calculated the total amount, we then proceed to ask the user whether he or she wants to place new orders. And if the user replies with Y, that means he or she is interested to place new orders. The do while loop is gonna repeat to display the items for him or her to do whatever he or she wants to do. And if he or she replies with no, that means he or she is not interested to make any more orders. So it is just gonna end with no feedback. So at this point, we just display the total amount, and then we print a thank you message for the user, and that's it for it. And then the returns arrow ensure that the code has run successfully, and then everything is okay. So that's it.